Hello, investors and traders, and welcome to the midweek report. I'm AJMonte, Chief Market Strategist with Sticky Trades, and we have about 30 seconds left before the closing bell. Today, the Fed announced that they're looking forward to 3 rate cuts in 2024. Whether or not that happens, we'll have to see. But there's some big news that's going to be coming out by the end of this week, so stay tuned on Friday. I'll be reporting on that during the weekly market report, which comes out after the close on Friday. Let's go right to the charts. The diamonds closing on the high, and not only the intraday high, but the markets are closing up 512, right around that level where we have a record high on the Dow, and there's the official close. If you take a look, this was all a knee-jerk reaction to the Fed announcement, no doubt about that. But if you take a look back, and again, I always put out that word of caution, we're just a tad over this resistance level, but look down at the weekly volume down there. You see we still have 2 more days left, and that volume is not even close to what it was last week. So that is a sign of weakness. If you're long, I know many of you have gotten long recently. If you are long, make sure you're trailing your stops. No doubt that 1% rule should be in full force right now. We did hit my upside target, no doubt about that. We blew through that target. I am expecting the pullback by the end of this week. Usually that happens after the news has been announced. Remember, you buy the rumor, sell the news. So I think we'll see some selling coming in towards the end of the week. And keep an eye on these oscillators. So I'm not moving that downside target, not yet, at least not yet. I might have to adjust that on Friday. We'll have to see. If you look at IWM, we have a similar move to the upside. This is on much higher volume. You can see that my upside target again was reached and then blown through that as well. And that's a higher volume. We have green all the way. We have 5 green stale lights right now. So keep an eye on that drop in volume for those of you who are long. Again, a drop in volume will be a sign of weakness. Keep an eye on the CCI as well because we have a negative divergence there. We have a high on IWM being reached, but we have lower highs on the CCI. All right, so going on to the Qs, QQQ. I did not have a downside target on the Qs. You can see from last Friday, I had that upside target. I think that moving into Friday, we'll go a little bit higher. I'm just going a little bit at a time here. Upside target on the Qs is 408.80. Now, I normally don't put new target lines midweek, but being that we hit that target, I'm continuing because of the increase in volume. We did not see that drop in volume like I thought we would. We are still holding strong volume here. This was the mark where I said, watch out for a drop in volume. We're not seeing that drop in volume, at least not yet. But when we do, again, with stale green lights right there, 5 in a row, you could expect a red to show up shortly. So next is SPY. This is the S&P 500 at an upside and a downside. Again, we're not seeing the drop in volume here. We're seeing an increase in volume. So by Friday, I think we could go a little bit higher. I'm going to keep this target in place. Eventually, I think we will see that. Again, many of you know I'm very skeptical about what the Fed is telling us, and I'm not going to go down that road right now, but you cannot believe everything that you're seeing. I'm going to report on Friday what Warren Buffett is doing with Berkshire Hathaway. It's pretty phenomenal, and I'm not going against Warren Buffett. I might be disagreeing with the Fed, but I'm not going to go against Warren Buffett, that's for sure. And so keep an eye on that report for Friday. So SPY a little bit higher into Friday because of this increase in volume. And then we'll have to see where the next resistance is, which if we go back to the weekly chart, this high back here from 2022 is the ultimate resistance at that level. So again, on Friday, I'll report more on that as the markets pan out into the rest of this week. Now, an interesting thing is normally when you see the SPY up, you'll see the VIX going down. And while we have a red candle, or very slightly red right there, that is a doji / spinning top. And we do have a positive close on the VIX. So very unusual that you see the S&P going up and the VIX going up in the same day. Like I always say, the VIX is, for the most part, inversely related. Today, they both went up, but I do believe that the VIX is going to start to rally here in the coming days. A quick shout out for those who are in silver. If you're following on my X page, my post, I said to the world that I would be putting in a buy order to buy it at $20.95. That was a limit buy that was filled. Don't know how many of you have followed me along with that, but I have an upside target on SLV at 21.90. I think we will hit that tomorrow and then start to move higher. I am not selling any silver, at least not now, because this is a bullish engulfing candle that is engulfing 3 previous days of red. You don't see that often. You see maybe a bullish engulfing that engulfs the previous day's red, but not 3 days of red. So that's an extremely bullish sign in silver. It closed right on the highs on very high volume. Oscillators are going up. I'm maintaining my long silver position, but if it gets up here around 23 to 23 and a half, I will absolutely let you know when I'm about to sell out of any of my silver position. I'd scale out usually 5% at a time. So make sure you go to my X page and subscribe to me, follow me, and use hashtag AJSLV trades, and you will see all of my charts, my notifications, my actions, the plan that I have for trading in and out of silver. It's a lot of fun. And even for the new traders who are looking for ways to trade, you could paper trade that without risking any money. Just follow along, document what your trade would have been if you had money in the market, and look at the buys and sells and keep track of your own trades. Again, it's a great way to practice. I often talk about paper trading as a way to get into the market without risking anything and going through the actions and making sure you're following the charts. So tonight from 6 to 7, I have the rapid fire session. My goal is to go over 50 stocks in 60 minutes. I think I'll hit that. We've been hitting that week after week. So if you're interested, go to stickytrades.com and roll in the rapid fire session, and I'll talk to you then. So long.